Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Silverfang. Today I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna be reviewing the first chapter from the Tsukihime manga. I just started reading it. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good right now. So before we get started, let me just go through some announcements real quick of some of the videos that are coming out. One of you guys asked me on Discord to do Ozymandias versus Karna. Surprisingly to me, that was a very interesting matchup. I didn't think it was going to be that interesting, but after looking at those guys, that matchup was pretty freaking interesting. So I already recorded that video. That video is already in production. It needs to be edited. It's already like halfway done. Next thing is I'm also gonna be covering or doing some One Piece videos and other animes on the channel, just because I tried to do it in a different channel, but it's kind of hard to manage more than one channel. It is. So don't worry, it's not gonna take over. It's not gonna be like, oh, now the face stuff is to a minimum. Now the priority on the channel, it is still going to be Fate and the Nasuverse. As you can see, I'm reviewing Tsukihime today, and I'm gonna keep reviewing the manga. It's looking pretty interesting. But yeah, just expect to see some other animes on the channel. I need to react to the trailer of Chainsaw Man that just came out like yesterday, and I'm gonna be also making some One Piece videos. Now the main thing that's gonna be changing is probably I'm gonna be covering more One Piece, because I don't, unless something happens in the anime community, something crazy, you might see some videos. Like if a crazy episode happens in any other series that I watch, I may cover that on the channel, but the other animes are not gonna take over the channel. That's what I'm trying to say. Still mainly focus on the Nasuverse, but there are stuff that I would like to talk to on the channel that are not related to the Nasuverse. For example, you can tell if you look back there, I love One Piece. One Piece is one of my favorite animes and mangas, but mostly you'll be seeing some One Piece. I'm not gonna start reviewing every chapter that comes out in the manga, because I feel there's a lot of people that do that and they'll probably do it way better than I can. But I am gonna make videos talking about interesting things that happen. One video in particular is coming out pretty soon, so if you like One Piece, please subscribe, please support the channel. And with that being said, let's start with the review. So Tsukihime chapter 1, that is, it's looking good. It's looking good, I'm not gonna lie. The chapter 1 covered the prologue and chapter 1. So let's talk about the prologue for a little bit. So we start off with this kid named Shiki, and right off the bat, easy name to remember, One Piece related. So we start with this kid named Shiki. He's in the hospital, and when he wakes up, he's able to see these lines that I'm not sure what they are yet. But he's able to see this line, and if he grabs a knife and cuts along those lines, then he's able to cut anything without any effort. That is OP as shit. God damn, that's crazy. That is insane. But so he's dealing with some trauma. He's seeing these lines that nobody else can see. He freaks out. He runs out of the hospital. When he runs out of the hospital, he comes into this field. It's peaceful, it's calm, there's no lines around, and out of nowhere comes this woman. And that's the woman with the red hair that we saw in the trailer. That when you saw me react to that trailer, I said I didn't know who she was. That was the woman with the red hair that we saw in the Tsukihime remake trailer number 2, I believe. And so yeah, that's pretty interesting. So she talks to Shiki and she explains to him that these lines are something called the sight, and apparently it's something that only he can see. So that is very interesting. What makes him special? Why is he the only one that can see them? And also, something that's also very interesting is that she gave him some glasses that cover up the scribbles, as he calls them, something that allows him to see the world without using the sight, which is pretty interesting. How she just happened to have something like that at hand. So is he really the only one that can see the lines? I doubt it. It's just pretty convenient that she met the kid and just happened to have those glasses on hand. Now, that's pretty much how the chapter ends. And then we jump to chapter 1. It's 8 years later. Shiki has been living with his aunt and uncle for 8 years. And today's the day that he finally goes back to his family house. So, off the bat, we're told that after the accident, he had some medical issues, supposedly anemia, supposedly cases of amnesia. I don't think those are actual medical illnesses that he has, because if I go back to the trailer, the way he was fighting did not look like somebody who has anemia. This dude is a freaking badass. That's something that I'm curious to find out, like why does he have those passing out moments. And so he gets to school and he's talking to his friends, everything is good. The teacher comes in and asks him to solve a problem, and once he gets up to solve the problem, he faints. And I guess he's used to fainting like that because automatically he's thought, oh, this was just related to anemia. So he has no clue what's going on, and right when he's in the middle of the process of fainting, getting back up, the teacher says, hey, if you don't feel so good, you can go home early today. As he's walking, he's remembering this girl, the girl with the red hair that we saw in the prologue. And according to him, the amnesia is causing him to not remember much about her, not her name, or I believe he said he doesn't remember her face all that well. And that's pretty interesting because I feel that she's gonna be really important to the story, because again, as I said in the beginning, there's no way that she just met him and had those glasses on hand and was able to explain everything. He did mention that she was a mage, but again, she's the one that told him that he was the only one that had the sight, but she had the glasses on hand, which doesn't make much sense. But he doesn't remember all the details of the meeting, but immediately you can tell that she's someone that's very important to him. Even though if he can't remember her all that well, she's someone that's very important to him. And me personally, I can't wait until she gets back in the story, because I have a lot of questions about this character. I have a lot of questions. So as he's walking home, he comes across Tsukihime. And immediately, as soon as they cross paths, this dude like loses it. He falls down, he's fading. That's something that might just be happening in his head, but there's a voice that is telling him to pretty much kill her. And then that brings me to the knife. So there was this knife at his relative's place, and they gave it to him, and it was packed neatly as a present. Who could have sent the present? Probably the girl that sent the glasses. So I'm very curious about the knife. It immediately reminded me of, and I know that this can't possibly be the same knife. So it immediately reminded me of the knife that the kid in Face Strange Fake had. The Jack the Ripper knife that he got from Waver. And I know it couldn't possibly be the same knife, but it reminded me of it. And sure enough, he pulls out the knife. The voice in his head tells him to kill that woman. So he's having some issues, like big issues. So I'm not sure if this guy is unconsciously a serial killer, but he supposedly kills Tsukihime, like cuts her into 10-12 different pieces, which immediately shows how OP this freaking sight thing is. Like this dude just like a person is immediately cut anything. He can cut through anything as long as he follows the line like a pencil. Oh my god, that is pretty freaking broken. That is broken. The fact that he's able to cut through skin, bones, wood, anything, even steel probably, by just following these lines are freaking crazy. So immediately, bro, this dude with a knife is OP as shit. Oh my god. So he cuts Tsukihime. All of a sudden, he wakes up and he's at his parents' house. Or his family name, I think, is Toho, I think. So he's at his family house, and he wakes up to find his sister and another maid there, and supposedly he was found passed out at the park, and Tsukihime wasn't there. There wasn't any blood. So immediately I'm thinking, what if this guy has like an alter ego, and it's like dual personality thing going on, where he commits the murders, he cleans them up, and then he goes back to where he was, so that Shiki himself is never aware of what's actually happened. That's something that I came up with on the spot, because it's something that I've seen before, not sure exactly where, but that's something that just came to mind. What if this guy has an alter ego, and this alter ego is a serial killer, and this serial killer now goes through all the trouble of killing someone, covering up the fact that he killed her, cleans himself up again, and then drops Shiki right where he was before he passed out. And that's what's causing the anemia episodes that he gets, and it's just his alter ego doing all these things, because right after he goes back to sleep apparently, or was it just a dream within a dream? I didn't understand that part quite well, but I don't know if it was a dream within a dream, but he wakes up, he goes back to sleep apparently, and he has another dream when he was little and he was with his sister, and apparently they were at this field, and the field was full of dead bodies, which is a little weird. And it would make sense if something like that did happen. That would make sense as to why his parents sent him to live with his relatives, because they didn't want him around his sister, because they never explained why was he sent to live with his relatives. So it would make sense if that actually happened and the parents just send them away. That would actually make sense. So he wakes up again, and he's talking to his sister. She's telling him of all the rules of the house, how he has to be home by 7. And meanwhile, there's something brewing in the background, where a few times in the episode they've mentioned these serial killings, and apparently it's some sort of vampires. Now I know that this series has something to do with vampires, not sure what exactly, or how big are they on the whole series, or if it's just a one arc thing. But I know this has something to do with vampires. So there's a vampire out there killing people. So there's a curfew, 7 o'clock he has to be home. The gate shut at 7, I believe, blah 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 blah. So he didn't want to hear it. He walks away, he goes to school, and then out of nowhere, Tsukihime comes back. Tsukihime is back. So the girl that he supposedly killed is back, and he is shocked as hell. So was I. I know that she wasn't dead, but what did shock me was that she was actually looking for him. So that's pretty interesting. She was actually looking for him. So there's a couple things that I considered in this chapter. Was so this series has something to do with vampires, and from the trailer it seems like Tsukihime has some really crazy abilities, like her nails and stuff get sharp. So maybe she's also a vampire. So that is possibly why she just walked away from the crime scene, I guess. So she was able to heal herself back up and just walk away. But that wouldn't explain how the blood all disappeared. That wouldn't explain how the blood all disappeared from his knife, his clothes. So what if there's two things I can think of, and number one is the one that I told you, where he has an alter ego that cleans himself up after a murder. Or what if the maid that picked him up from the park saw the blood and everything, and she cleaned them up? Now, it would appear to me that these maids, they're loyal to the sister who currently runs the house. So if they know, she knows. And there was an incident when he was little that I don't know whether she killed those people or Shiki killed those people. But if either one of them did, so she probably knows what happened. So probably either the maid picked him up, he was full of blood, they carried him back home, then cleaned him up so he wouldn't know what's going on. And that's pretty interesting. It's also weird how she doesn't want him going out at night. So she's I feel like she's hiding something. The sister, I feel she's hiding something. So, but that's pretty much it for the chapter, guys. It was an amazing chapter. I can't wait to read chapter 2. I'm probably gonna do so right after this video. So if you enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. I was debating whether to review the chapters or reacting to the chapters. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want me to do moving forward. I felt it would be better to review the chapters because the chapters themselves are kind of long. So I don't know if you guys want me to react to those chapters, or you just want me to review them. Or another option will be if you send me special chapters, good chapters, please, without spoiling anything. Send me good chapters that you will want me to react to because they're so freaking hype. That would be the best option, where I can review most of the chapters and do a reaction to the really hyped chapters. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel for more Tsukihime videos. And with that being said, have an awesome day. Catch you guys in the next one.